Great ball speed, a tangle of limbs in the upshot. Another chance for the Pulse.
I think I know how the Vixens train and sort of tactics that they use. They probably hate me because I obviously was on the inside and got first-hand knowledge of those things. But now I'm in a different side, it will be good to use those key things. How they work together, how they interact, sort of little things like who likes to pass to Sherelle all the time or where people like to feed from. And I think those kind of things are crucial to just get a slight upper hand on teams like the Vixens.
The Central Pulse have been so brave.
Emma will definitely have inside information on us because she spent, the year with us when we won the premiership, but we're not too worried about what information she'll have.
Well, huge crowd in, and it's been a sizzler for them.
We've heard the crowd in Porirua is very intense, very loud, and are going to be sitting very close to us courtside. So we're going to have to make sure that from the very first whistle that we try and tune out and try and support each other on court because we aren't going to have much support out there.
Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua is the last hurrah for both the Central Pulse and the Melbourne Vixens in 2010. Can the Pulse repeat their 2009 efforts in the final round where they defeated the defending champions, the New South Wales Swifts? Tonight they're up against the 2009 defending champs. It all just seems a little bit deja vu. Yes, hi there, and thanks for joining us for Monday Night Netball. Well, the stage is set. It's a Trans-Tasman battle, and Tanya Dalton, given the weekend's results and the upsets, you'd have to say that the Pulse are in with a chance tonight.
Well, what a fantastic weekend. All whites, all blacks, rowers, Magic, Steel in the semi-finals. So, hey, go the Pulse. You never know.
The Vixens, a team that you'd have to say have fired at the beginning of the season, since round 5 have capitulated by their own admission. 7 straight losses, hard to believe.
Well, we saw the same thing happen with the New South Wales Swifts last team, and I guess in sport it's one of those seasons. 3 players are missing from last year's champion team. Should that make the difference? They'll want to finish on a high, no doubt.
Well, time to take a look at the round 14 results, and while the Magic kept their playoff hopes alive with a fine win against the Thunderbirds in Rotorua, probably the biggest upset of the round, the Firebirds choking under pressure against an impressive West Coast Fever. Yesterday, the Mystics notched up their 7th win of the champs to beat the Canterbury Tactics. The last game of the round, the Steel and Swift, Steel secure of a top 4 finish regardless of the result. However, if they win, they will move into 3rd spot and get that home semi over the Magic. So the points, well, the top 4 have been secured. The Pulse find themselves in 9th position, and the Vixens, well, they go from number 1 in 2009 to number 7 in 2010. Well, the Pulse certainly have fond memories of the stadium because, as we just mentioned, this is where they beat the New South Wales Swifts in round 13 last year. Our match commentator, Andrew McVeigh, was at that game, and tonight she's all fired up again.
Well, Anna, I have found myself a gaggle of Central Pulse supporters, and we are walking en masse through the foyer of this fantastic arena. And I am wearing white in honour of the All Whites. And what that game showed this morning is that in sport, anything can happen. If the All Whites can draw with Italy, then of course the Central Pulse can upset the Melbourne Vixens.
Yes!
Final word though, Annie, is coming from this gaggle here because they've got a special birthday message to the Central Pulse coach, Yvette McCausand. You ready, girls? Yeah. Go for it.
Well, if I remember rightly, Chance, you actually predicted the Pulse to beat the Swifts last year in round 13. So what's your prediction tonight?
I'm going the Pulse again. People laughed at me last season.
Catherine Harvey-Williams,
yeah,
that was.
Exactly. People are starting to listen to me now.
Not me, I'll agree with you. Righto, time to duck away for a quick break now. Before we do, here's a bit of a recap on the history of these two teams in the Fisher and Paykel head-to-head.
The head-to-head is proudly brought to you by Fisher and Paykel.
Welcome back to Live Netball here in Poiroa's Te Rauparaha Arena, where the Central Pulse are taking on the Melbourne Vixens in one of the 3 Trans-Tasman battles of the round. And Tans, before we get into the Vixens lineup, here we go. Chatfield's in at goal defence.
She certainly is, and the young 17-year-old, she's been brought in today. Wilson starts at goalkeeper, so it'll be really nice to see how she goes with Chatfield. And the midcourt, well, they're very experienced. They've got Chocolate, Hallinan and Jones, so they'll certainly bring that ball through nicely. And you said no Sherelle McMahon, so Knott and Caldwell are the shooting combination. They'll be pretty feisty in there. Off the bench, well, I guess Thwaites is one that you'd expect to come on, and maybe Richards.
Well, let's head courtside where Andrew McVeigh is with the coach of the Vixens, Julie Hornwig.
Well, Julie, tell me about your week, because it's been a pretty miserable one for you.
Tell us about our year. We've been struck with injury most of the year, and this week we've been struck with the colds and flus that have not even escaped the coaching staff this week. We've all had our turn at not being really well.
So some young reinforcements that you've brought with you. One gets a start tonight. Tell us about the young girls you've brought across the Tasman.
Yes, we brought Michaela Wilson, Christy Barnes and Stephanie Popolo. They're all up for our underpinning group. They've played in many state teams for Victoria, and the last couple of years have been playing with our Fury team, which plays in the ANL, and have performed really well, so it's their opportunity tonight.
Great, we look forward to a wonderful game. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Well, Tans, no Sherelle McMahon. Kathleen Knott gets the nod at goal shoot. She's played 4 games for Vixen, so she's an experienced campaigner.
Yes, she is. She's going at 72%. She's 22 years old, and she's quite tall at 1.84 centimetres tall. So, but for an Australian shooter, she's like them all. She moves that circle well. She turns and puts a shot up. So another confident shooter coming through.
Well, let's take a look at the Pulse starting 7. And for the second week in a row, this is probably, Tans, the strongest 7 that we've seen from this Pulse side.
Certainly is, Annie, and a combination that is working with them. Rasmussen, she brings such a presence in there with Katrina Grant out at goal defence. Amma Boise, I love her at wing defence. She sets up ball. Milner, Olsen and Lees are starting to really get that midcourt humming. And this is the shooting combination that we've loved. Gutwill and Griffin, and they need to fire again tonight. Off the bench, well, Pritchard, Manu, Litchwa and the captain Olschwager. There's a number that could take the court.
Well, time to hear from the coach of the Pulse, Yvette McCausland-Jury.
Well, Evie, I have to say happy birthday, first of all. Your team seems like it's overdue for a really good one.
Yeah, I hope so. Look, it'll be a special birthday if we can make it a win. So we're looking forward to it. Had a good week of training.
It's been a happy hunting ground, because this time last year you toppled the Swifts here, and this is a reality that you could upset the Vixens, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've done a lot of work. We've made good progress in the second phase of the competition, and I have strong belief in this group. So, yeah, get started.
Wonderful. You light those candles on the cake afterwards.
Thank you.
Well, Tans, Amma Abrazi, she's a pretty good goalkeeper, but just as good at wing D as well.
And she's just so, physical. She can jump high. What I like about it as a wing defence, she sets up ball for her keeper in goal defence. So she's a tight one-on-one marker.
Yeah, she's an athletic, dynamic player, as is the centre here. Narama Milner-Olsen has been one of the players that's really been performing consistently for this Pulse side.
And no matter who the opposition she's up against, the likes of George, Langman, she's fronted. She's come to the party. She's delivering good ball to her shooters. She's bringing the ball through. So certainly a player who has had a great season.
Okay, well, predictions. You bet on the Pulse round 13 last year against the Swifts. What are you going to go for?
Pulse.
Points, come on.
Happy birthday, Yvette. Yeah, Pulse will win by 4. Here it is, at home in the stadium. It's their lucky stadium.
There you go. If you haven't bet yet, go put your bet on, because she got it right last time. Righto, well, we are going to duck away for a quick break now. But before we do, let's flash back to that incredible Pulse win back in round 13 when they beat the defending champions, the New South Wales Swifts.
This flashback's proudly brought to you by Fisher & Paykel.
It's the defending champions in town, the New South Wales Swifts, against the winless Central Pulse. Could be a day where history is made. Oh, that's beautiful. It's outstanding stuff by Susan Catley. Oh, that was remarkable. Unbelievable. Not happy with that, Kimberly Green.
Te Paraha Arena in Porirua, where tonight the Central Pulse will try to add another title holder to their collection. Right here last year, they toppled the 2008 champions, the New South Wales Swifts. And tonight it's the 2009 premiers, the Melbourne Vixens, in town. Beside me in commentary, former Silver Fern Tanya Dalton. And Tanya, a few weeks ago, you'd have thought the Pulse wouldn't have a chance against the Vixens. Not so tonight. The worms really turned over the past month or so.
It certainly has, and they've got better and better. And what I like about the side is they've got a stable lineup. Things seems to be working down there, attacking in with Gutwell and Griffin. Down the other end, Rasmussen and Grant. And in that midcourt, you know, you've got the likes of Camilla Lees and Narama Muna Olsen certainly bringing the ball through. So looking good.
And sideline, former Ferns captain Anna Stanley, and this Porirua crowd really baying for blood. And you'd have to say the Vixens perhaps there for the taking.
Look, it's a big crowd here. It's the last game for the Pulse and the Vixens, and what I call it the last game itis for the Pulse at home. They'll want to finish well. Vixens have got no Sherelle McMahon. She's not even here in Wellington, so that'll be a huge loss for them. And look, this Pulse side, they were looking strong in the warm-up, lots of talk, so I'm looking forward to a big one.
Well, the Central Pulse are 9th on the table, the Melbourne Vixens 7th. As Kathleen Knott leads the Melbourne Vixens on, and plenty of faces there, Tanya Dalton, we're not used to seeing in a starting 7.
That's certainly right, and I'm really excited about seeing the young 17-year-old Michaela Wilson in at goalkeeper. She's teaming up with the captain Chatfield, so it'll be an interesting combination.
So a warm enough welcome for the Melbourne Vixens, but just wait for it at home. You'll hear it. The drums start to beat as Te Paraha Arena gets set to welcome the Central Pulse onto centre court. And the Pulse led tonight by Jamila Gutwell at goal shoot. And she really has taken her opportunity there.
She has. She's moving that circle really nicely with Griffin. It'll be interesting to see. They need to fire again tonight, but she creates space in that circle.
So this is the second to last match of the regular season. It's a dead rubber, nothing at stake, except for a whole lot of pride. And the ball deliverer for this one, Abigail Canham. She'll deliver the ball to Narma Milner-Olsen, so a very proud moment for her. And the umpires for this one, Bronwyn Meek and Christy Simpson. Game time. Porirua, north of Wellington. The Central Pulse hosting the Melbourne Vixens. Can the home side add another title holder to their collection?
Already the Pulse happy to move it around, patient with the ball.
It's been their signature.
A lovely little pop on the baseline from Gutwell.
A chance for the Vixens now. They've had an injury-ridden campaign, and they've had a week where they've been affected by illness. First turnover of the match, and it goes against the Vixens. The call offside. A suggestion from Jones that perhaps she was pushed there. Chatfield sideline, she'll look to square, does. And good angles.
Nice movement in the circle from Cordwell, and not good mobile circle that the Vixens have out there tonight.
And Anna, you're sort of nestled right in the thick of the rowdiest part of the crowd. It's a pretty fine atmosphere in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's certainly a packed house, and so it should be. You know, the last game of the season for the Pulse, it's, they had a good one last year when it was their last game here at the same arena, so it's a good arena for them.
Hopes are high as Lees charges to the edge of the circle and offloads nicely to Gutwell. But she can't make it count. And expect to see a lot from Bianca Chatfield.
And some tight one-on-one marking from the Pulse. Trying to keep the feeders off the circle edge.
Chocolate and Jones up for it, though. They combine nicely. And Kathleen Knott. Sensational movement off the ball. And she's pretty happy with it. So first break of the game goes the way of the Vixens. Jones now.
And Caldwell very effective on that baseline. Knott's coming out and looking straight in.
Home side Central Pulse now will want to make up this deficit quick as they can. Lee's circle edge.
Yeah, nice work, Griffin. She's strong at popping the top. That's what she should keep doing. Oh, held ball. Needs to get those shots in a little bit quicker.
So turnovers really going the way of the Melbourne Vixens so far until then.
Yeah, and a Boise 3 foot. A tall wing defender.
And Annie being marked by a player of Boise's height. Pretty tough for a midi.
Yeah, hard for a wing attack. You don't come up against too many wing defenders that are as tall as a Boise, but she's not only tall, she's agile, she's got long arms, so she can get a lot of hand to ball, which we just saw before. Got the tip and Milner Olsen picked it up.
At the other end, the Pulse throw in the result of Michaela Wilson. She's just 17 as the young goalkeeper for the Melbourne Vixens. Interested onlookers. Silver Ferns coach Ruth Aiken.
Well, I guess this is the last chance for some of these Pulse players to really impress. Ones that are putting their hands up for the Ferns, Griffin being one. Camilla Lees is in the mix as well, I guess.
And Tegan Caldwell called there. Contact.
So Rasmussen and a Boise combined this time. And Rachel Rasmussen certainly been a handy acquisition for the Pulse.
And one of her fortes is drawing the contact off the shoot-up.
Yeah, she's a wily defender, isn't she? Milner Olsen finds Lees in the pocket, but the pass has got too much on it. So now Michaela Wilson and Bianca Chatfield combine.
And Chatfield's getting some lovely drives through the court.
Yeah, good vision from Hallinan to throw that long ball to Chatfield in the middle. What the Aussies are so good at. They let the ball go. Not afraid to give those long ones.
And Jane Olschwager, the Central Pulse captain, looks on again from the sidelines. But you'd have to say, T, that since she's been on the bench, things have gone much better for the Pulse.
But certainly this combination has got better and better. The way Gutwell moves the circle, they're working with each other in unison.
Good circle movement, and Griffin converts. So just under 10 minutes remaining. First spell, 4-3. So turnovers are plenty, a pretty low-scoring one so far. Knott and Jones now, and Tegan Caldwell. Sneaky one on the baseline.
Oh, Caldwell just about taking out Katrina Grant on.
Oh, yeah, there's feisty action already in that goal circle. No doubt about that. And the Melbourne Vixens throwing on a zone, so very Kiwi of them. When in Rome, or Porirua as the case may be.
And the Pulse will want to start scoring from these turnovers.
There's certainly been enough of them. Chatfield pressure on the shot, called for distance. Yeah, and that's more like it. Jamila Gutwell knows it. 4 apiece. Gutwell out of the circle, and what a drive! Paula Griffin through the middle. Straight up the guts, team.
It's the simplest way, straight down the middle.
Last 3 goals, Central Pulse. So it's been a seesaw so far. Chocolate will try to settle. And Caldwell, Jones and Knott. Nice, simple angles to get Knott into the shooting position. Oh, Griffin looks straight in and finds her sidekick.
And the young Michaela Wilson just getting caught in behind.
Griffin's
Straight past her, Gutwell.
Griffin certainly started with a bit of a hiss and a roar. She's on fire.
Well, I guess you talked about Silver Fern's selections and a last chance to impress.
Yep, so she's certainly started well.
Corb with a big step in. Halfway through the first spell now, 6 apiece. Milner Olsen.
Milner Olsen's doing a great job getting onto that circle edge.
She's had a terrific season, actually, Annie, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been certainly one of the solid performers in that mid-court. She's just a really athletic, fit player, ones that you always want, especially in that centre position.
No shortage of intensity. They might not have Sherelle McMahon in town, but this Vixen side will want to finish the season on a high, no doubt about it. Griffin now. Sure and steady.
Griffin going 4 from 4 at 100%.
Hallinan now.
And listen to this talk from the Pulse side. Constant chatter.
Jones now uses Chocolate, who's free as a bird, wing attack side. Oh, and Katrina Grant, oh no, she overcommitted.
A nice little give get there from Knott.
Griffin again getting the centre pass. She gets most of the centre passes for the Central Pulse, averages about 17 a game, so.
And the Melbourne Vixens throwing a zone again. It's really just not something that we see from Australian teams on either side of the Tasman.
That was a bit of a shocker.
So another turnover, and the Vixens are pretty rapid through court.
And Katrina Grant effective in the screen out.
Rebounding so often about body position, isn't it?
Certainly is.
And that was to no one.
Yeah.
Through a third will be the call. So it ought to be set in the goal third, and it is. So here we go again, all over the place so far this game.
And Grant wanting to get it back after that loose turnover. A little bit late.
So the break to the Melbourne Vixens. That's one up with the pass. And not out of the circle again. So interesting to see the way that they're playing this, the Vixens. So much mobility in that circle.
Oh, it's an easy way to get the centre pass. And they seem to be getting their first phase away nice and easy, the Pulse, but it's that second phase they're struggling with a bit.
Contact, goal defender, distance side, yes. Advantage, contact wing.
Griffin through the lot of them. And Chocolate, wow, just lost her footing.
It's a bit of a skid. Again, not coming right out of the circle.
And you'd suggest the Central Pulse would be well served, just plugging the holes at the head of the circle. They pick up the scraps though. Millie Lees charges through.
Quick hands from Awasi.
Good patient attack now. Lees sells the fake. Well, we expected it would be close, but with just over 3.5 minutes left in this first spell, 10 apiece. Sure is. Air ball.
Yeah. It's such a nice pass from Griffin.
And Michaela Wilson, the 17-year-old goalkeeper for the Vixens, doing a really fine job.
Yeah, probably going to need to come round the Gutwell a bit to stop giving her that front space.
Oh, Kathleen Knott fires the missile.
Great pressure from Katrina Grant there. Had her sewn up.
Oh, Hallinan having a go.
Yeah, nice work. Griffin and Gutball just have such a better understanding.
But can't finish.
Yeah, they need to start sinking those.
Those are the lifted balls that the Pulse can try and go for on that midcourt.
It's pretty much the same pattern every time. Not out and Caldwell cutting the baseline. So good play, Melbourne Vixens. 2.5 minutes left till quarter time now. 11-10.
And Rasmussen doing the effective job in there, cutting off that big ball in.
Oh, yeah. Katrina Grant read it well. Abuazi doing a lot of the work on the outside, admittedly for Grant to come over and get that.
Well, the Pulse were just romping through court, and there you have the turnover. Katrina Grant just stepped through for it. Nice footwork. Miscommunication. But the upshot is the Pulse still in possession, not anymore.
Oh, Abuazi!
Well, it's like watching ping pong.
Contact, goal defence. Obstruction, both out.
Both players penalised now. One for contact, one for obstruction, so easy pickings. And what a setup on the centre pass line, transverse line.
Yeah, no way through for the Pulse. They're certainly creating a wall, as we call it.
And a zone. So they're filling that hot spot. The head of the circle are the Vixens. Chocolate and Hallinan, the only option, the baseline. Or the turnover.
And 7 turnovers for the Pulse, 8 for the Vixens.
And make that another one, Tan, because that's through a third.
I guess what both sides are scoring off these turnovers. And that's where they're both lacking.
This is where the middies just need to get onto that circle edge.
And one shooter needs to stay home.
Yeah.
Bianca Chatfield having a field day. Gutwell elects to use Milner Olsen circle edge. Better stuff. And every time the Central Pulse side score,
The whole stadium erupts.
it's like ballistics, isn't it?
You'd think we're in the last couple of minutes of the game.
It's awesome. And there's the countdown to quarter time. The Vixens unable to capitalise. It's been a topsy-turvy one, but certainly not short of action. And as we go to the break, it's the home side, the Central Pulse, just ahead of the Melbourne Vixens. 12-11. Back shortly with you live on Sky Sport.
Defensively, you've got to get the 0.9 and you're either cutting off vision or you're cutting off the passing lane of the hand, okay? Be clear on that. Prong attacks, we need you down on that transverse, really pushing that entry. Stay together so you're only arm's length apart, okay? Good start, but we can be better. Let's keep going.
Through court, we need both of you going. You've been hanging out a couple of times. Something's got to go and go really hard.
There, let you guys bring it down.
We've only had one option, everyone's sitting.
Ladies and gentlemen, compliments of the ANZ Championship.
12-11's the score at Te Paraha Arena in Porirua, just north of Wellington. And Tanya Dalton, when you crunch the numbers, pretty even across the board.
Certainly is. You know, Pulse could be even hit more, only shooting at 75 to the 85%. Turnovers both high, 7 and 9. You know, that's what's probably been a pretty topsy-turvy sort of quarter. And the shooting stats, yeah, well, Griffin, she's delivering. Gutwell probably missed her first couple, but she's starting to come into it. And Caldwell, 100%, 6 from 6.
Let's get the second call out of the way. The ANZ Championship.
Well, the beats are underway, and so is the second quarter here in Wellington. Central Pulse hosting Melbourne Vixens, 2009 champions in town. And a sensational delivery from Paula Griffin. Gutwell, though, doesn't want to put it up.
Yeah, I guess she missed her first couple in the first quarter, so wants to secure it.
Good .9 from Mabwazi. You heard Yvette McCausland during the break saying she either wants them to put the .9 up to block that vision or block the running path. So.
And Annie, you're right next to both benches. Plenty of chatter in both.
Yeah, especially from the Pulse. You know, Kushla Litchwart had her finger out pointing at Mabwazi. So great feedback that the players are giving the ones out on court.
So Central Pulse defence really slowing things down, and Katrina Grant gets a hand to it.
Yeah. Beautiful turnover.
Well supported by Rachel Rasmussen. And for such a young combination, it's gone well, Rasmussen and Grant together. Millie Lee's now in the pocket. Gathers nicely and they swing it. Dangerous.
Yeah, and that's pretty dangerous over Chatfield.
Good combination on defence, Pulse. As a result, we're down this end where they're trying to score from the turnover.
And simple little dodge from Griffin.
Works every time. When she dodges with assertiveness, that's when Griffin looks strong.
Looks straight in. The call goes against Pulse. Offside, the call, in fact. So Michaela Wilson will set it inside the circle. And we're away again.
The big cross court.
Katrina Grant knew it was there for the taking. Good safe stuff. Tegan Caldwell. Once again, just so patient on attack.
Brazy doing everything she can to spoil out there.
Katrina Grant called again. And once again, that nice innate understanding between Rasmussen and Grant.
Yeah, and the quick release and looking down the court makes it so much easier when you get down this attacking end.
Griffin turns and sights and makes the feed easy for Milner Olsen.
Yeah, Gutpool's protecting her space really strongly.
Just not finishing as well as she has over the past few weeks. Just hasn't quite got her follow-through right on the shot.
Yeah, only going at 6 from 10. She'll want to lift it.
Caldwell finds Jones, who resets via Chatfield on the transverse line. So good patient stuff from the Vixens as well. Off mark, though, Natasha Chocolate. 3 passes through court. Milner Olsen, the give and go.
Renee Hallinan doing a great job on Camilla Lees, keeping her off the edge.
They're doing a great job on the head of the circle there, Annie, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's where Camilla Lees is getting into a bit of trouble. Milner Olsen's in the corner. Millie Lees needs to provide more of an option, but the pass got into Griffin.
And the crowd love it. Yeah, so Gutwell running at just 60%. Paula Griffin doing a fine job, though, running at 82%.
Yeah, Griffin and Gutwell, they're using each other a lot, which is nice to see.
Throw in now, Gutwell. She'll use Lees on the circle edge, who in turn finds Paula Griffin. So good basic stuff done well, Central Pulse. Birthday girl Yvette McCausland-Jury, their coach, will be happy as could be expected. Chocolate. No one available in the circle, so she swings it. And Katrina Grant does the dolphin. Check this out, Tanya.
She'll be doing that tonight if she wins too, I'm sure.
Perhaps not on the netball court, though. in the pocket, Milner Olsen. And just the availability that you talked about, and Emily Lee's needing to offer up.
Well, they're having to use Grant and Aboise a lot on this transverse line.
And lovely give and get, but Gutwell just not prepared to put the shot up. So they work it around until they can find Paula Griffin.
Which is a smart thing to do. Her stats are higher. She's shooting better. They need to go in to count. The smart work from the Pulse.
So just under 9.5 minutes left until half-time. 17-13, so 4 in it. Central Pulse just creeping ahead against the 2009 champs. Jones finds Knott, who's a good long-range shooter. Can't make it count. And it was one the Vixens needed to make count. They'll have another chance, though.
Not, yeah, 56%. 5 from 9.
Well, I guess they've got Caitlin Thwaites on the bench, who's not a bad wee shooter.
Poetry in motion, Emma Aboise.
She's doing a power of work on attack as well. She stays up on that transverse line and is being used constantly to reset back.
And at 1.83 metre, her 0.9 of a metre marks. Just sensational, Aboise. Pulse not able to make the most of it, though. Another turnover.
Chatfield, yeah, effective in putting off that shot of the Pulse.
Knott uses chocolate rather than going long range this time. And a good rebound. Tanya, check this out.
Yeah, just constantly hunting, looking forward, and just got those beautiful long arms.
Such athleticism.
And to be fair, there's probably more of those that the Pulse can go for, because the Vixens, any Australian sides, they like throwing those cross courts from one side to the other.
Miller Lee's struggling a little bit, especially around this shooting end.
Chatfield on the charge, though. And Jones. Better stuff. Vixens, good basic netball.
Space says it all.
Look of frustration.
So about halfway through the second spell, 17-15. So the Vixens now creeping their way back. And that'll take them to within 1. Pretty fiery redhead. Couple of fiery redheads in the Vixen circle. And Lee's almost out of options. Chatfield used. So a bit of a bottleneck halfway between the transverse line and the head of the circle for the Vixens. Once they hit the circle edge, they seem to be able to do just that. Penetrate. Lees tries to drive circle edge, but instead the front cut from Paula Griffin.
And she's done that a bit tonight. She's got that cut through the middle. Oh, easy centre pass for the Vixens there.
Yeah, just a sense the Vixens are starting to really settle into their work. And Knott adds it. Wing attack side, Paula Griffin. She gets so many centre passes, this Paula Griffin. And now she and Lees needing to combine. No one at home.
Again, Griffin trying to cut through the middle.
Yeah, Camilla Lees just needs to get on the circle edge and protect her space. She's doing too much running around off the edge and she's not an option. So she just needs to get on there, secure her spot.
5 minutes now until half-time, 20-18. Hardly anything in this one. Up to go back from Knott, but she runs out of court.
And a turnover, the Pulse will want to score.
So many turnovers, 23 in total for this match.
Certainly is. Pulse scoring from 7 out of 12 of them.
And here's the zone again from the Melbourne Vixens. So the wrong way round, Tan.
Yeah, but
Don't they know they're Australian?
the Pulse will know exactly how to break it.
That was lovely away hand work. Michaela Wilson throwing no pulse.
And they're certainly using this transverse, even us. I'm not playing.
Katrina Grant just about ends up in our lap. Gut well dominated by Hallinan, but her distance wasn't right.
Again, see, Millie Lee's coming off. She just needs to hold. May Hallinan read that well.
She doesn't seem to have her normal punch tonight at the moment. Boise just getting so many tips and deflections. Just that constant hassle, exactly what McCausland's jury asked for.
And she seems to be really enjoying her time at wing defence too. All the chatter, her vision through court.
Well, this could be her last game in New Zealand if she decides to play for England. As we know, Sue Hawkins, the English coach, doesn't want the English players to play next year, so she'll want to bow out on a high, I'm sure.
Yeah. What a shame that'll be for the championship. Meantime, Gutwell out of the circle. And the Pulse having all sorts of problems getting into a shooting position.
They're just constantly pushing these shooters out. I wonder if the Pulse need to hang on for that, pass it in on that 3rd second.
Oh, well done, Griffin.
Two and a half minutes now until half-time, 21-19. Kathleen Knott, same deal, out of the circle. So she and Caldwell sharing the duties, and Amara Boise, she's on fire.
Yeah, Rasmussen coming out there, cutting off that square. But anything you can do, we can do better down this end.
And they do.
Oh, Boise again.
Oh,
and they do.
That could have...
Natasha Chocolate rolls her eyes. Here's why.
Oh, that could have been a massive clash.
We've seen a few toss-ups.
Nice pass, Milner Olsen. Chatfield's head was down.
Pretty good time for the Central Pulse to have the break. A minute and a half now until half-time.
And Lee's again just hesitant on that pass. What was that? How ball?
A few questioning expressions. And Knott and Caldwell going pretty well together. Nice pop. Rasmussen jumps it, but she's called for distance. 22-20, back to 2, and the Vixens will have the pass. Jones. Left with nowhere to turn, so she goes back.
And Chatfield showing her frustration. She wanted someone to come to her.
Into the last minute now before half-time. Melbourne Vixens throwing a pretty effective zone again. Full court zone on the Pulse.
Good to see, though, at least the Pulse breaking the zone, getting through.
Milner Olsen there at the simple. Look one way, pass the other. Oh! Griffin.
Oh.
And that was a move which simply had to be finished off, because look at it. Stunning. The crowd starts to count down to half-time. It's deafening here in Porirua. good second quarter for the home side, the Central Pulse. They'll head into half-time, 24-20, ahead of the 2009 champs, the Melbourne Vixens. Back soon to wrap up the first half action. 24-20 is the score. The Central Pulse leading the Melbourne Vixens here at Te Paraha Arena in Porirua, north of Wellington. And it's party time at half-time. And you'd have to say, Tanya Dalton, star of the show really so far for the Central Pulse. Their goal attack, the young Silver Fern, Paula Griffin.
Look, she's come out there tonight and she's doing her job. She's got 17 out of 21 at 81%. What I like about her is she's getting that middle cut. She's also got the majority of the centre passes, and her vision into gut ball from that centre pass has been nothing short of outstanding. So she's meeting the ball, she looks fired up, and even the shot she's missing, she's following in and getting her rebound. So she's certainly in that zone.
She's been a Silver Fern since 2007. She's had 9 test caps. The Silver Ferns coach, Ruth Aikens, in the crowd tonight. So an important game for her.
Well, there's players like Thompson, Tutaia. We saw them last night. There's a number of players putting their hand up, and this is her last chance tonight, so she's come out hard.
And with us sideline, Anna Stanley, the former Silver Ferns captain, and defensively through the midcourt, Emma Abwazi, you said that you liked her at wing defence. She's having another boomer.
Yeah, she certainly is, and you know, she's setting up early. You can see there she's getting her .9 early, and she's such a tall, lean player with long, lanky arms that she's getting a lot of tips to ball. But also, what I like about her there, we just saw she's hunting the ball, so she's also prepared to put the 3-foot mark up, but also change it up a bit, come off her player and hunt the ball. So she's having a fine game on defence, and as you can see here, she's working the ball down on attack and being a real support to Milna Olsen and Camilla Lees down the attacking end. So she's certainly having a fine game.
She's been a real acquisition, all right. 39 test caps and 27 years old, so she's not eligible for the Mars Red Best Young Player. But a young lady who is from the Queensland Firebirds, Amy Steele. She's the latest nominee, and at season's end, we will know which of these players will receive 5,000 Australian dollars. So a pretty good booty up for grabs. It's this match here, though, that we're focused on for the time being, and it's the home side, the Central Pulse at half-time, who lead. The crowd love it. 24-20 it is. Pulse over the Melbourne Vixens. Getting set for the start of the third quarter here at Te Paraha Arena in Porirua. 24-20, Pulse over the Vixens. Pretty even everywhere, Tanya.
Yeah, I guess a couple of biggies. The turnovers 17 for the Vixens against 13, and the intercepts 4 to the Pulse. 3 of them coming from Abwazi, so she's been outstanding tonight.
And Mail from the bench, Andrea. Both goal shooters have left the court, so Jane Altschwager has come in for the Pulse at goal shoot. Gutpool goes to the bench, and Caitlin Thwaites replaces Kathleen Knott. So let's see what this woman can do. She's the captain. She's been on the bench for the last 2 weeks. I'm sure she'll be fired up for a big one.
And I guess, Tanya, a last hurrah, really, for the Pulse captain, Jane Altschwager.
Certainly is, and she'll want to come out and fire. So I'm surprised by the change, but hey, it might prove me wrong.
Third quarter action underway. 4-goal lead, Central Pulse hold. Bianca Chatfield has a swatted at the results. A throw-in. Paula Griffin will take it.
She's certainly good with that holding shooter, Chatfield.
Yeah, I think the middies need to pop that ball in front of Griffin more. It's too high, and that's why Chatfield's getting a bit of a dabble at it.
And Lee's not wanting to put it in.
Well, Altschwager missed her first shot, but got it back probably just as well.
And Griffin, this is what she's been good at all night, following in that shot, getting the rebound.
With us in commentary now, the coach of the Central Pulse, Yvette McCausland-Dury, the birthday girl. Happy birthday, just as your team turns it over. Jane Altschwager on the court. Evie, Why the change?
Yeah, just looking to create a little bit more height. I think we lost the rebound position and a lot of pressure was being put on Paula. She didn't have many options to offload, so we'll see how this one settles.
Evie, Abuazi, Grant, they're picking up some crucial ball down here defensively.
Yeah, I think our through court, we're not quite linking as we come through on attack, so that's an area we've discussed as well.
Okay, well, all the best. Thanks, Evie.
Thank you.
Another new player on court, Caitlin Thwaites. And here's the zone again from the Melbourne Vixens.
Abuazi saying that's mine.
And they're doing a good job of it defensively, plugging the holes and forcing the pulse into the pockets, which is where they go. They swing it to Lees.
Contact goal defence.
Chatfield penalised, so another chance for Jane Olschwager.
Both out.
And she'll want to take this and she'll want to sink it, because just to get that confidence in her shot.
And to find her radar. So 26 to 21, 12 and a half minutes left in this third quarter. And joining us now in commentary, the coach of the Melbourne Vixens, Julie Hornweg. And Julie, what was your message to your side at halftime?
Oh, we had to treasure the ball more. We were giving some silly possession away, so we had to work harder at maintaining that.
And Julie, a positional change. Caitlin Thwaites comes on. Reason for this?
We just thought a bit of height there would add a bit of focus to our attacking line.
Thanks, Julie. We'll let you save your voice.
Thank you very much for that.
Milner Olsen now for the central pulse. Resets on the transverse line, and Griffin out of the circle, lucky to get away with that. Dangerous angles.
Yeah, Wilson out hunting.
And that's more like it, Jane Olschwager. So she had a nervous start. Seems to be honing in now. High penalty count for this one. And Caldwell and Jones, nice combination, puts Caldwell in a shooting position. And Caitlin Thwaites, there's the difference she makes.
Yeah, we heard Hornweg say she wants a bit of height, and it certainly helps also with the rebounding.
Well, she's a seasoned campaigner, isn't she? She was in the defending champion team when they won last year. She formed a pretty good relationship with Sherelle McMahon. Been a bit off the boil this year, but she's certainly got the skills.
Soft hands, Paula Griffin, the result.
Again, Abuazi trying to spoil.
Chocolate on her own. Nice footwork, finds the space, and Caldwell has the shot. So there's one back for the Melbourne Vixens, their pass. Thwaites comes out. Hand around Rasmussen, and Katrina Grant clean as a whistle.
She's been going for those all day.
What a drive.
And Griffin just about headbutting the...
What a drive, what a pass, what a shot.
Yep, they're the ones you need to sink. Now down the sideline come the Vixens. Rasmussen's out, but she'll be penalised. She's late.
Oh, Grant again with that offhand.
Oh, just a misunderstanding between she and Rasmussen. Chocolate now will reassess and look straight into Thwaites. They've played a lot of netball together, have Chocolate and Thwaites. It shows. So last 3 goals, Melbourne Vixens, just 2 in it. And there's another stray pass, and it'll be gobbled up by Michaela Wilson. And Michaela Wilson, Tanya, 17 years old, called into this team this week, gets the start, ANZ Championship, going so well.
Yeah, and a crucial, well, not crucial, but a tight match, you know. The pressure's on. I think she's adjusted well. At the start, she was sitting in behind Gutwell. She's starting to move around and sort of getting her hands, get a few deflections. So she's a player that can only grow and learn from this experience.
Last 4 goals now, Vixens. And Caitlin Thwaites has made a world of difference to this side.
Yeah, you can just see the intensity picked up from all of these Vixens players. They're all calling out, come on, let's go. So there's a real lift.
Schwager, I think she just needs to start getting into the circle.
Well, you mentioned a real lift, Annie. Well, the real lift has been worth 4 goals because we're all tied up 27 apiece. Pulse need this one. And Griffin sure of it. Nice progression down the sideline before they swing at Melbourne Vixens. Offloads to Thwaites. And Thwaites is running at 100% since she was injected into the match for this third quarter. Olschwager, lots of pressure from Bianca Chatfield. Steps even closer. And Jamila Gutwell, the woman who she's replaced, gives her captain a pretty good round of applause.
Oh, she's
starry.
And Rasmussen and Grant sitting back on Thwaites.
So halfway through the third quarter now. We're into an even ball game.
And that's what worked so well for them in the first half. That vision into the shooter holding the front space.
Caldwell goes back to the transverse line and Chocolate uses her footwork. Caldwell all alone. And I guess the danger with focusing on a player like Thwaites as a defensive combination is that when someone like Tegan Caldwell's shooting so well,
she has Caldwell going at 86%. She's putting up her fair share at goal attack. She moves that circle well. She's effective on the base. And the Pulse, they just need to get their flow again down this attacking end.
Probably passing a little bit too much back to the likes of Awase and Grant. These attackers need to work it out down here for the Pulse.
No troubles down this end. Melbourne Vixens looking a different outfit with the injection of Caitlin Thwaites into their front line. Awase penalised, so Chocolate's used right in deep in the pocket. Just lovely copybook angles. Pretty to watch. And surprise, surprise, time called, Central Pulse.
Yeah, Rachel Rasmussen, I think, is limping over to the side.
And you talk about effective change made by the Melbourne Vixens, Caitlin Thwaites being injected in. Timeout called now. T, would you make a change if you were...
Well, I just think the Pulse, they went in at half-time, they were up by 4. They've changed, what, one person. It's not necessarily Jane Archwicker that's caused the problem, but it's that whole attacking end. It's the difference of player. Gutwell was coming out, she was moving the whole third, and I think they've lost their structure down there a bit. So I probably would, because you just don't want this Vixen side, their class. You don't want them to pull away.
I'd like to see Jamila Gutwell come in at wing attack, because I think Millie Lees is having a bit of a quiet game, and I think Milna Olsen is doing a power of work on defence and attack, and she needs some support, and Gutwell has shown she's quick, she's agile, and she combines well with those attacking players. So maybe they could look at their change there.
Well, let's have a wee listen in while this injury break's still going. See if we can hear what's being said in the huddles. Well, you see Katrina Grant and Rachel Rasmussen switching bibs. No changes at the attacking end, though, which seems to be where the bottleneck is for the Central Pulse. Let's see how it plays out.
One good thing about Rasmussen at goal defence is she's got great vision, so hopefully she can look down and pass some long ones into the circle.
Olschwager just working laterally. Doesn't really offer an offer again.
Sort of needs to get in. That's what she needs, that hard drive, not pass and stand, pass and go.
Good punch and front cut. Gets her into a strong shooting position, and she... Oh, I was about to say finishes, but she doesn't. She'll get into a second chance, though. Wilson penalised this time.
And you wonder what's going on in McCawson Drew's head. There, coach.
Shall I change it?
Yeah,
Shall I keep it?
You want to go and tap her on the shoulder, Annie?
Thwaites changes the angles through Chatfield. And Jones and Rasmussen hunting. Could have had a go at that.
I think she thought about it.
And Tegan's called well.
And good back up there, Grant, with the tap down, knowing she couldn't get it over the top.
Nice from Jane Olschwager there.
So storming plays. Central Pulse and Olschwager. The rebound they needed.
She's flying.
Olschwager, the missile. And there's the danger of that lateral movement. So frustrating stuff for the Central Pulse, and here come the Vixens again. Rasmussen and Grant have split, so look for an intercept. Caldwell, though, up for it. Good movement in the circle from the Vixens. And a little bit fortunate, you'd have to say, to get the rebound, but she does. Vixens just ahead, 33-32, and they'll have the pass. So that was the break the defending champions wanted. And Caldwell again, playing like a hero, Sherelle McMahon. Front cutting, driving, all over the court. Milner-Olsen finds her captain, Jane Olschwager.
Better work from Lees, hitting the circle edge.
Nothing on offer, though. That stagnant goal circle.
Yeah, Griffin and Olschwager just getting caught on the same side of the circle.
They're either both running, Annie, or both standing.
And neither clearing.
Not quite creating the space that
better stuff
the combination was doing in the first half.
And she finishes. And the crowd go nuts.
Again, great pressure of Wazy.
And the throw-in, Central Pulse. Massive amount of turnovers in this game. The trouble is being able to capitalise on them. Can the Central Pulse?
Oh, yeah, nice pass, Rasmussen.
And they're better when they use that middle channel rather than going wide.
Dogged defence, Melbourne Vixens. They have toiled all day. Griffin, the only one available, going backwards.
Lee's better assertiveness. Just needed to yank that ball down.
So now the Melbourne Vixens turnover time. Easy progress through court. Thwaites is out.
Yeah, their transition is so quick, isn't it, the Vixens? When they get the ball on defence, they just really punish and get it down the attack end pretty quickly. So Pulse have got to set up their defence a lot quicker and slow the ball down.
Rachel Rasmussen penalised. She thought it might have gone the other way.
Yeah, they're impressing me, this change. You know, they're doing some lovely switches in there.
Two now the difference into the dying stages of the third spell. If you've just joined us, the Central Pulse led by 4 at half-time. Changes were made. Their captain, Jane Olschwager, was injected into the game. Now they're in arrears by 2. No doubt we're going to have a nail-biting fourth quarter. Griffin, right under the hoop. Here. Down to 1. Jones, sideline, Melbourne Vixens.
Grant. Yep.
unlucky. Awesome elevation, good timing. Caitlin Thwaites, a fine competitor. And the Pulse force it out the back door.
30 seconds to get it down. Still a long time in netball.
That was a great pass from Grant. They need to just look long a bit more, the Pulse.
And she won't miss this one.
And she doesn't. 10 seconds to get a goal. And Jane Olschwager gathers it in.
Oh, they'll get the penalty.
So Bronwyn Meek,
Oh, no, she won't. She walks off with the ball.
blows the whistle for three-quarter time. And we are in for a humdinger of a fourth spell, because as we head to the break, we're all tied up 35 apiece. You make sure you stay right where you are.
One of you drive. When we do, you've got a beautiful drive through court a few minutes ago. We need that happening. Even if you don't handle the ball, someone has got to go through there instead of just sitting out on the wide side, all right? So one of you. And if you do the lateral, if you do that's to drive again. But throwing the lateral and then just pausing on that one, go really hard.
Continue with the drive on through court. Okay, but we need to keep man on, nice and tight, keep directing her out. She's just getting a last-minute cut around the front into circle. So remember, you're trying to direct out on 45s really tight from centre pass, okay? Just us Daya to stay man on, try and get a little bit more lifted, keep them up and off circle edge as long as we possibly can. Some good
We're on the edge of our seats here at Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua. Why? Because, well, the only number that really counts, the one at the top, 35 apiece.
Yeah, it's all pretty even. I guess the Pulse, they'll want to lift that shooting percentage in this last quarter. Last game for both these sides. Olschwager's come on, she's staying on. She's only gone at 70%. She'll want to lift that up.
And some quick changes for the Pulse. Rachel Rasmussen has gone to the bench. Trina Grant's back at goalkeeper, and Abwazi's gone from wing defence to goal defence, and Daya Pritchard on at wing D.
This is at the last 15 minutes of the season for the Melbourne Vixens and the Central Pulse. Who will prevail? Callanan, transverse line, and Jones finds Tegan Caldwell on the baseline. It's brought back though. Trina Grant penalised. Thwaites will have the shot, offloads.
Oh, unlucky.
Bronwyn Meek has made a couple of real faux pas down this end. That was off a Vixens player.
Yeah, pretty thankless task though. And she does a good job, does Bronnie Meek. Griffin now. Tangle of limbs. And Natasha Chocolate will be penalised.
And Olschwager needs to get in and split it up.
Good work, Paula Griffin.
And nice quick feeds in.
Just probably needs to take a breath on the shot when she's done a couple of quick in and outs.
Jones used on the centre pass. Thwaites out of the circle. The crowd really starting to find its voice here in Wellington. Look for the baseline feed. Just the simple pop out, Caitlin Thwaites.
And beautiful lean. Boise, but Thwaites looks over it.
Daya Pritchard introduced this quarter. Nice vision. And the Pulse needing to go again. So just that stagnant circle again, Central Pulse. Griffin tries to work her way round and through it.
Say nice pop, Olschwager.
I was going to say nice split, but it was just a nice fall.
So they go again. It's almost excruciating, the big hurl across the circle.
Yeah. Oh, lovely feed. Keeping it low, away from that away hand.
Milner Olsen ready with the hands-on pressure, and that good setup on the centre pass again from the Vixens. Hands-on pressure, Daya Pritchard, brilliant!
And that's what you call fresh legs. Making an impact when you come on.
And these are the ones that they just need to treasure the pulse. They've got a break. It'll be their next centre pass.
Lees now uses Griffin. Good combination. And a good space into Olschwager.
Yeah, Milner Olsen giving some quality ball to his shooters.
Lovely defensive pressure, Daya Pritchard. Precious turnover pulse, now their pass. Lee's front cuts and heaps of pressure from Natasha Chocolate. Oh, runs out of court. So the chance the Central Pulse had to get that 2-goal buffer frittered away. Bianca Chatfield now for her side. The Melbourne Vixens will be so determined to finish their season on a high.
Boise up high, hunting.
Jones. And Tegan Colwell goes out again to Natasha Chocolate. Just to get herself in a better shooting position, and who wouldn't? Back to even. And now the Melbourne Vixens with the pass.
Nice work, Wendy Jones.
Yep, I was going to say, that has got to be a pulse throw-in.
Cordwell not happy, but I think Brom and me got it right that time.
I think the crowd agree with you anyway, Annie.
Oh, and straight in.
Yeah. Nicely executed, Griffin, and the offload.
I'm glad Griffin was watching that one.
So Lees and Olschwager try to get it right, but she steps this time.
Yeah, she's getting caught on one foot, and when you're on one foot, you've only really got one option to give, so she needs to just be a bit more balanced.
Oh, and there's Pritchard, and she'll force the turnover off the fingertips of Bianca Chatfield.
Look at all those smiles on the bench for the Pulse. They're happy chappies.
Yeah, it's good to see that they're happy for whoever's on the court.
Wow, Daya Pritchard, talk about an impact player. Nothing available in the circle again, Pulse, but they work it around.
Olschwager needs to get in and be an option.
There's a nice away arm from Chatfield.
Oh, and look at this. Dribbled off the fingertips of Chatfield. Griffin now in a shooting position. Contact to go against Hallinan. So another chance for the home side. Just over 9 minutes remaining, only 2 goals in it, and it's the Vixens' centre pass. If I had fingernails, Tanya Dalton, I'd be biting them. It's tense.
And well, look, this advantage of playing here in the stadium, the crowd, they haven't stopped this quarter or pretty much the whole game. Olschwager just needs to stand and take a breath.
Air ball, Paula Griffin, she appeals to the umpire, but there was nothing in it. So now... Well, I think the crowd tells you the story. Topsy-turvy times here in this final spell. Just over 8 minutes left in this match and in this season for these two teams.
Well, both teams out there know all about pressure. The Pulse have been in many extra time matches. Well, the Vixens, defending champions, great intercept from Katrina Grant. Clean intercept, didn't involve the umpire at all.
And you watch Katrina Grant in the setup, she's just constantly looking. She's aware of where her opponent is, but on the hunt for any cross courts. Chocolate regathers the ball and she'll receive the pass too. An easy feeding position. Caldwell will have a go under all sorts of pressure from Abwezi. What pressure though?
Griffin again on the centre pass.
Yeah. And the Vixens have scored the last 3. So you talk about pressure.
Again, the Pulse get it to here, and it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
They really need to get some penetration.
Punching through the middle they need.
And just nothing on offer, just a whole lot of running.
Yeah, moving too soon. Need to go back to short, sharp movements.
Oh, and Hallinan, almost inevitable, wasn't it? Well, the call was offside goal attack, so Tegan Caldwell over-enthusiastic in her defence, and now an easy shooting opportunity for the Pulse. So talk about getting let off the hook. 41 all, 6.5 minutes left. Chocolate.
Oh, Grant just going for everything.
Tegan Caldwell's had a mighty game.
Yeah, and I think that's why Yvette McCausland made the change and brought Abwezi back to help out Grant in that circle, because Caldwell did have a strong third quarter, along with Thwaites.
Hallinan again effective in the turnover.
And off the fingertips of Milner Olsen, so an opportunity now for the Vixens. Chatfield charges. And plenty of big cross courts. Nice ball speed.
Contact, keep up. Back at the top, though. Yes, where you are. Where you are.
She steps in, so Abwezi had every right to defend as close as she was. Enthusiastic bench, Melbourne Vixens. Daya Pritchard will get penalised. 43 to 41, it's the Vixens now.
And the Pulse will be wanting to start turning this over.
Beautiful structure to their play, Melbourne Vixens. Since Caitlin Thwaites has been injected.
She's certainly a solid player. She's gone, what, 12 from 12, 100%. Great injection for Julie Hornwig.
5 minutes now. This is a critical one for the Central Pulse. Olschwager on her own.
Yeah, captain will want to score it, and she does.
Melbourne Vixens need to score. Central Pulse need the break. Caldwell on her own. Back to 3. 4.5 minutes, a long time in netball though, T.
It's it. Oh, we've seen it. She's taken a breath and she sinks it.
That was stunning netball.
Camilla Lees, take a bow. Beautiful pass.
And sometimes a passage of play like that is enough to lift a team.
Yeah.
Caldwell though, whatever you can do, I can do better. Julie Hornweg likes it.
Griffin wants to put that ball straight into the circle.
Check this out. Don't mess with me, Abwezi. And the space just wasn't there.
Oh,
out of court. Throw-in will go the way of the Melbourne Vixens.
And that could be costly, Andrea.
3.5 minutes left on the clock, you'd have to say very costly.
Yep, they need a break, and they need a break too soon. A little bit too late, Milner Olsen, but she's had a fine game for the Pulse.
Chocolate. Lovely pass to Caitlin Thwaites. Could be the nail in the coffin.
Abwezi, calling time. 3 minutes to go. What do you say to your team? Hang in there.
Well, there's still you know, Annie, it's still a long time in netball.
Yeah,
Let's listen in.
Yeah, just she's running across and Pulse committing on the way out, so just keep it head up. Good attacking. Just need both of you on that transverse. Keep working on the transverse on attack being available. I want to see
just over 3 minutes remaining. 4 goals in it, but the Melbourne Vixens, who are ahead by that 4, have the centre pass. Home side have got some catching up to do, and they're running out of time. Caldwell swings it, but Pritchard will be penalised.
Yeah, Pritchard's come on well. She's contesting a lot around that circle. He's really putting the pressure on the Vixens wing attack, Wendy Jones.
And the intercept was there. Good on Katrina Grant for having a go. Caldwell, safe. Important goal. Last 3 goals, Melbourne Vixens. And with 2.5 minutes left, you'd have to say they've sealed the deal. And here's this excruciating bottleneck. Better stuff. Front cut, Olschwager on the baseline, and she finishes. Just over 2 minutes now. Central Pulse need a turnover, and they need it quickly.
And with a side who are up, they can afford to play it around, do nothing silly.
Grant gets her fingertips to it, but not the turnover. Caldwell in a shooting position. Grant called for distance. So to Abuezi, so free shot in essence.
And Caldwell, 24 from 28, 86%.
Strong driving game all day, Paula Griffin. Hallinan will use Chatfield, and the Vixens know they can just work it around for all they're worth.
And that's one.
Four goals, though. Dea Pritchard uses Milner Olsen. They travel down the sideline. A good straight line. Griffin, long range. Good for it. Abuezi uses Milner Olsen, and Olschwager out of the circle. Can the Pulse do it? You suspect they might just run out of time.
Good fight from the Pulse, though, here tonight to push the Vixens side. You have to say a completely different Pulse lineup to the one that started in this ANZ competition, so they've grown.
Chocolate will look for the easy option. Katrina Grant steals it. 22 seconds left on the clock. There's the ball.
And there'll be a centre pass.
And there's time. So put a hold on everything, folks. They've got 10 seconds.
What a pass.
What a heart stopper. It's gone right down to the wire. But it's the 2009 champions, the Melbourne Vixens, who'll go home with a victory. Just by one, though, 49-48. They've ended their drought, Tanya Dalton. They've lost 7 on the trot. So you'd have to say a fine way for the Vixens to end their season.
Yeah, it certainly was. And, you know, they finished, they let the Pulse back at them again in the end there. God, what a nail-biter. But this Vixen side can head home and say, hey, we finished with a win, and they've ended their season.
What a brave finish to the season for the Central Pulse.
Well, you know, picking against the Vixens earlier on in the season, you would never have thought they would come close to a side like this. They were leading up by 4 at half-time. Just let it slip away.
Amara Abuezi, one of the heroes wearing Central Pulse colours. But let's now go sideline and hear from Anna Stanley, who's joined by the Vixen skipper, Bianca Chatfield.
Well, Bianca, congratulations. A bit of a tight one at the end. 1 goal. The Pulse certainly pushed you tonight.
They did, but, you know, I'm so proud of our girls. We've really, you know, had a tough last end of the season, but we fought, and we just wanted this win to finish off, so we're very proud to have that.
Let's talk about your season. Up till round 4, I remember looking at your team going, you're going to go through and win this ANZ Championship. Where did it go wrong for the Vixens?
Oh, look, there's been a number of things. Obviously, injuries have played a part, but also just inconsistency. So we don't have any excuses other than, you know, we weren't good enough this year, and we've got a lot of lessons to learn, and we've got to obviously be a lot stronger next year.
You finished the season with no Sherelle McMahon. She's not even here in Wellington. How much of a loss is she to not even be on the bench for your side? side?
Oh, she's such a strength, as you know, and having her in our attack end to guide them down there is huge. But to the girls that we have here, we have so many of our Victorian Fury players who dominate our local competition, and they've done a great job, and it shows what strength we have in Victoria.
Yeah, great depth. Congratulations, rest up, and we look forward to seeing the Vixens next year.
Thanks very much.
Well, you have to say it's nice to see a smile in the dial of Bianca Chatfield, and she can be really proud of this young unit, which has just conquered, if you like, by 1 goal, the Central Pulse.
And captaining the side, she's a happy camper, finishing on a high.
Well, let's hear now from the losing captain, Jane Olschwager, who's with Annie.
Jane, commiserations, 1 goal in the end. What was the difference?
You never want to put it down to the last dying seconds of the game, but I'd certainly like to have a look at the replay and see if that was a contact ball. We did everything we could. In previous games, that would have blown out to something like a 10-goal margin, but we held it in there, and that's what I said to the girls at the end. But it's those games that we need to remember for next year too.
Can you sum up your season? Because the way you finished here tonight was far better than the way you started. So some real improvements shown from the Pulse this year.
Yeah, certainly, and that's what we were trying to gain basically for the season. We knew walking in there at the start of the season that we had a lot of combinations that hadn't worked together at all, and we're introducing ourselves to each other right from the very start, not knowing each other's names. So it was a lot to work on. We just hope that we can, maintain that group, or the majority of the group, for next year, so that we can build on it.
And you personally, your first year playing in New Zealand, have you had a great time?
I've had a great time. Definitely. The support's been great. I guess it certainly feels like a second home to me, and yeah, thanks to everybody who's made me feel so welcome.
Well, look, thanks for playing some fantastic netball towards the latter half of the ANZ Champs. Rest up, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Well, Tanya, Jane Olschwager asked the question. No call given right there. 50-50. Yep, you're allowed to contest the ball, aren't you?
There's a lot worse stuff that goes on, so I don't
is.
think you can look at that. But looking at this, the Pulse, 76% to 86% in the shooting percentages. It's interesting, 8 intercepts from the Pulse, only 2, and the turnovers are higher for the Vixens. So the Pulse, they were obviously getting the turnovers, but they just weren't scoring from it. And the shooting stats, like I just said, not good enough. Gutwell wasn't probably having her best game. They brought on Olschwager, 77%, but take a bow, Caitlin Thwaite, 13 from 13, 100%. She showed what she is made of.
Well, the Central Pulse are applauding this wonderful capacity crowd that's been in at Te Paraha Arena in Porirua. It's the end of their season, the end too of the 2010 season for the 2009 champions, the Melbourne Vixens. But they'll leave Wellington with a win under their belts to finish the year. But it's been a close one, 49-48. Back shortly to wrap it all up for you.
On Court takes you
inside the games.
On Court sees the lighter side.
Worst hairstyle I've ever had.
My mushroom haircut was before yours.
Came out like a big fro kind of thing.
On Court takes you home.
Growing up on the farm was amazing. It's something that was really memorable for me. We got to ride on the motorbike.
So why don't you join us?
Join us. Join us.
Join us on Court.
7:30 Wednesday, Sky Sport.
Welcome back to Te Paraha Arena here in Porirua, where the Melbourne Vixens have pipped the Central Pulse by 1 goal. Ama Abuazi had an outstanding game. She picks up the 3 points. Katrina Grant, her defensive mate in at goalkeep, gets the 2, and Renee Hallinan at wing defence for the Vixens picks up the 1. Well, standing by with the player of the match, Ama Abuazi, is Andrea McVeigh.
Well, Emma, congratulations. You're our player of the match tonight. What a heartbreaker, though.
Absolutely devastated. The girls fought. We did have it earlier on and we lost it, so I guess people might say we deserved to lose, but our hearts were in it right to the end.
We've really enjoyed your performances at wing defence, switching across to goal defence, I know, at the end, but enjoying a run on the wing?
Yeah, I don't really play wing defence very much. It's something that I've played in England a few times. I don't practice there much, so I think I need to get the practice in first before I come out and be amazing at it, but I do enjoy any position, really.
Well, we've really enjoyed having you in Central Pulse colours. Had a good year?
I think yellow looks good on me. It's been a topsy-turvy year. We started off quite badly, as you know. We improved as the year's gone on, and it's a shame the season's ending now because I think we're just ready to move forward now. So if they can keep the basis of the team together next year, I think you should watch Central Pulse.
Last question, how nice would it have been, though, to have gone out on a win?
It would have been amazing, and it would have been a record because Pulse have only won one game in a season, so I think we're just totally devastated, and to be so close as well, it just makes it even more heart-wrenching.
Well, Emma, a great performance from you personally anyway. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, a fine performance from Ama Abwazi, and these are the players that are leading at the moment in the Fisher & Paykel Player of the Year. Laura Langman sitting on 14 points, Liana De Bruin on 13 points. So if Liana, she's got one more game up her sleeve, still are playing the Swifts tonight. If she pulls out a point, she could pass Laura Langman and score a Fisher & Paykel appliance. Casey Williams, Magic player up there, and so is Althea Byfield from the Mystics. And let's take a look at the points table. A few of the spectators getting autographs and filtering out of this arena here at Porirua. They've come to see their fans and the players, and they've certainly had a great spectacle here in Porirua. And the points table, well, Vixens stay in 7th. The Pulse stay in 9th position. And the top 4 are there, Swifts, Thunderbirds and Magic and Steel. So one more game to come tonight. But there we go, the last game of the round tonight. New South Wales Swifts in Sydney against the Southern Steel. But before we talk about that game, Tans, this game, what a heartbreaker. The Central Pulse, they were in it, 1 goal in the end.
Look, the Pulse up by 4 at half-time. I think there was a couple of key changes from both sides. Caitlin Thwaites came on for the Vixens at goal shoot. Jane Archwager at goal shoot for the Pulse. I don't know whether that was the right change. You know, when you're winning, the whole attacking end seemed to struggle soon after that.
Where I found that the Pulse were lacking was that wing attack position. Renee Hallinan had a really strong game in at wing defence. I thought maybe Gutpool could have come on. She's agile, she's mobile. We didn't see that though.
Yeah, we saw her bench, probably because her shooting stats wasn't that high, but I think what was lacking was her movement. She's constantly, not just in the goal circle, but in that whole goal third, which was then creating space for Griffin to get that front cut. She was getting that middle cut. She was in turn putting the ball up. She shot in the 80s, and yeah, they seem to lose that momentum.
You'd have to say though, the Pulse, a better side than what they started this year's ANZ Champs.
Oh look, they finished on a high. You know, they haven't finished on the bottom of the table, which they'll be pretty happy about. And you know, they've found a combination. They've found some players that have worked well together. Yvette McCausland-Joy, you know, it's her birthday. She didn't win it, but hey, they finished strong.
Yeah, and they nearly beat the defending champions. Well, that's it from us here in Porirua. Don't move a muscle though. The big game of the round, Swifts up against the Steel. If the Steel win, they sneak into 3rd ahead of the Magic. We'll see you next